Brand new camera, didn't even want to function. There we go. I messed up. I bought this last night for my trailer because the one that's on my trailer broke. But you see, right there's the problem. This is like $153, I think, at Harbor Freight. By the way, I'm also using my Harbor Freight hood light. And everything on it is exactly what I need and want, except for the fact that it's only 3,500 pounds. So, she's going back tomorrow. But I've got an appointment up in Bowling Green tomorrow with the key person, the locksmith. He's going to reprogram the keys for, or program the key chips for that truck right there. And I put the new keys in it, tried to start it, and of course it didn't happen because they're not programmed. It started up and it ran for about 2-3 seconds and then it shut off. So you definitely do have to have the transponder key for this one. There's no fooling it. Anyway, this is going back tomorrow, and I'm also doing some work inside the diesel, the Ram, and I'll show you here in a second what it is. I'm still leaning towards not putting these on the truck because, for one, I probably have to wire in to the plug somehow, because this is what I got for wires. There's not a plug there. And they look like they'd be bright as all. I'd hate to have these on. I'd be blinding people. I know I would. But now they do actually come with these plugs. So maybe it's not as bad as what I'm... Oh yeah, it is. Yikes. They got whole other wiring harnesses for this. And it's not that I don't really, not that I'm not up to the challenge of wiring up new lights, but the ones that are on here are already so stinking bright. It just, why? Why would you want to put something even brighter on there? I mean, as I've said, the lights are like daylight bright as it is. Now, I've already slid this into this truck, but I'm going to take it out for just a minute because I want to show you something. Alright. Now, on the back of these seats at the top, there's a release. And it lays down like so. You lay both of these down, and it's like a twin bed across here, and you got all this space back here that the storage is there. And both sides fold down like this. There's also a lever. Oh, that's not it. That's to recline the seat. Oh, there it is. Now, if I lay that other side down like this, that's a double bed. Easy. With room to spare still. And both of these seats are back all the way and leaned back. Even as big as I am, I could lay down in across this like a warm blanket or maybe a little air mattress or something. That's like a whole doggone apartment in here. I mean, all the room for activities and such. I just thought that was kind of neat that it opened up that big. Again, when you're done, you just lift the seat up, slap it back into position, and there you go. Yeah, this thing is not wanting to cooperate. It's too cold. It did come from Florida, so it's gonna have to adapt, I guess. But yeah, look at all the leg room you got here. I mean, it ain't no joke. This thing, when they say mega cab, they mean mega cab, and by God, that's what you get. Now, basically what I did was I pried at the base of this and got these two bottom connections let go. And then these two came afterwards, but you've also got these here in the middle that hold too. And they made it a little tough, but it came out, and I've unplugged the plug already. This is that sliding rear window plug, and I'm not able to figure out easily what to do to get it popped out. The reason I'm popping it out is, if you saw in the other video, it was just like a blue light in the center of the dash instead of the actual switch being there that shows you that it's for the sliding rear window. So what I'm trying to do now is take it out, and I actually got the Mopar replacement for it from MoparPartsOnline.com. It's the exact same plug, and it's got the proper thing on the proper icon on the front of it. So this is genuine parts. Now I just got to figure how to genuinely get that old switch out without damaging it or the plate that it's hooked into. So this could be kind of fun. Ah, okay. I can make it easier on myself. Don't usually get those kind of options. That must be something new with Dodge. Not used to that sort of thing. I'm used to having to go and to watch a video to learn how to do something else. And I don't have my default drill out here, so I just gotta kind of wing it with the old multi-tool. But it's a real Leatherman, and should hold up fairly well. I know it's been doing a real good job at my work. This is the only one I ever got from my dad. He's got he had like 50 of them. I don't know 50, but he had a bunch of them anyway. Okay, so now in this switch plate that I'm fixing to pull out here, there's usually, and I'll show you the spots for them. Oh yeah, that pulled out easy. Okay. I was making it harder on myself than I needed to. See how it's all the black plastic that was on the front of it's all worn off and chipped off. First just a blue light when it's lit up. Now I gotta figure out how to get it out of there. Which I believe I can pry that back piece open a little bit and it should just pop right out. But I'll have to go back to my other implement on my tool here. Okay. Trying to do more of this to where y'all can actually see me doing it. but without somebody else filming, that's just not an easily done feat. Okay. Does it go out the front? No? Well, not quite sure how I'm going to do this if it doesn't let me have the switch. And it's not letting me have it easy. Holy crap. I know it's got to be easier than this. There, I got the bottom or the top part to pop open. Got them out. And now I should be able to put this in here and pop out the bottom too. Oh, the top pop back in. Yeah. I did it once, I can do it again, by God. Come on. Come on out of there. There we go. Well, it didn't exactly come out in one piece. That busted off the... Well, I don't think it busted. It just came off. Okay. So I can snap it back in there. I should be able to. Yep. There we are again. And this one's a little stiffer than the replacement that I got, so of course it may not be snapped all the way in there right either. Ah, there it goes. That's out. Well, it was all clicky. So I'll keep that one as a spare just in case, but this was 11 bucks, so, and of course you just boom, and there you have it. Super simple. Now there's a place here, this cutout here, and one on the other side too. If you're lucky enough to be one of those people that can afford a truck with the heated seats, that's where the heated seat button is for each one of them, left and right. They go in those open spots. And then there's a little cutout right there for them. It's just a push-in switch. But since I'm not one of those lucky people, and I'm not complaining, I'm happy to have this truck. And we'll switch back to the Phillips head again on my multi-tool, if it'll cooperate with me. These things are hard to get out when you don't have any fingernails. There we go. And these lock when you change out the tool that you're using. It locks into place so it won't fold over on you. Start it in by hand. Make sure it's straight, because that's important, especially with everything being plastic. Oh, that one's not started in straight. The bottom one wants to be a pain in the neck. So we'll have to treat it with special hands. There it goes. Alright. I finally did get it to quit throwing the error code for the grid heater by just not letting it warm up the glow plugs or the light. That's something else I found out. Talking to a gentleman at the gas station yesterday, and he had a Silverado, and this thing had the deepest, most beautiful drone to it. I was like, and it did not sound like a V8, the smaller V8s. It sounded like one of the big boys. So I said, "Is that the 8-liter by chance?" And he didn't hear me right. He says, "It's a good truck." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a Chevrolet. I'm a Chevy fan." Of course, I was there in my white Escalade. And we're done. But he told me his buddy has a Cummins, and he could not get the truck to start. If it would start, it wouldn't stay running long. So he sat there talking, and he said, those trucks don't have glow plugs. And I'm like, "Do what?" He said, "They don't have glow plugs." And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, this guy's pulling my leg big time. Because you either have spark plugs or glow plugs. That's known fact. No. They don't have glow plugs. I don't know what this silly thing runs off of. I don't even know if I can get the glow plug light to come on. Where's my key? Yeah, I've only got one key for this silly thing until tomorrow. Hopefully this time tomorrow night I'll have a set of 3. Yeah, see? Well, that is the glow plug light. Now, I guarantee you, once that thing shuts off, I'll start this truck up and that check engine light's going to come back on. It may not do it right now, because when it did it before, it took a few times of starting the truck before it showed back up again. That 3/4 of a tank of diesel, that's still the same tank that I picked this truck up with 2 weeks ago. Now, I've only taken it to work and back a couple of times, which isn't really all that far. But I want you to look at the, well, let me get that out of here. I want you to look at the fuel economy it's getting now. Well, I guess you could see it better with the clearance. 18.2 miles to the gallon average. Now, I don't know what all. Let's turn this on so I can kind of see. Yeah, that's for the sunroof. Oh, that's kilometers. Oh, I reset it. Oops. That's telling me how many miles I have before I have to fill up again. Oh, it's down to 41. Let's reset that. It was beautiful out today. They said it got up to 52 degrees. It felt like 70. So I got 457 miles. What the heck was that? Huh. Not sure what that ET is. And there it'll start building from there. But and I still haven't figured out what this light on the mirror is for, because it doesn't dim. And the one thing that I've figured out the hard way, this thing takes forever to warm up. I really need to get a auto start or keyless start. But that module is like $200 and something. I mean, I may later on, but I'm not going to right now. And I was trying to get a keyless entry for this, and the keyless entry actually sits right behind the dash, right here in the center. And it's just a little square module with like a little 6-pin connector on it that plugs right onto the back side of the gauges. And then you can program like any other vehicle that's got keyless entry that you don't have to go through a locksmith for. You can program your own remotes with it, and they should work fine. Well, going through that Dodge Parts Direct, or no, it was another diesel site. It wasn't the Dodge Parts Direct. Wasn't Mopar. It was Mopar something, but I don't remember exactly which one. There's like 20 different sites, and I've been through most of them looking for the keyless entry. The problem is that the keyless entry is on the site that I ordered it from. It was $63. I had no problem with that. But I put the order in, got my confirmation, and 2 days later I get an email from these people saying, oh, well, that wasn't the right part number. And then they send me something saying, well, it's going to be $64. And I'm like, well, but they needed my okay for it. And I'm like, well, I okay if it's just $64. I mean, it's like $1 more than what I was paying for it initially. I said, it's okay if it's $64. I said, but I'm not paying $120 or $150 for this stupid thing. Well, I went in and checked the email last night and went to their site and opened up my order, and they're trying to charge me $167 they're trying to charge me for it. And they're waiting on my approval. I told them what they can do with their approval and their bait and switch tactics with the part numbers. Because if you screwed up on your site with that part number and put the wrong price in there, that's on you. That's not my fault. That's not my problem. So if they don't get right with it, they just lost a sale and a customer. And it's like I told them in the reply email I sent them, it's kind of screwed up because I could have I'm planning on doing little stuff like this, like putting replacing the switch. It's not. Oh man, I am so stupid. Well, I'll set you down here and y'all can watch me put it back in again. Because genius me put the switch in. I was all proud of myself. I didn't hook up a doggone wire. The plug's not plugged in at all. It's just an empty switch, not plugged into a thing. Okay, now the way I did it the first time is I pulled the glove box open, and of course that doesn't help you any. It's these little lips that they've got in here, and these little, I guess they're change pockets if you don't have the 4-wheel drive or whatever. Oh God, it's 4-wheel drive on the driver's side. Now it's going to make a liar of me because it's not going to want to come undone like it did. Maybe I just used up all my jumbo strength with the first pull. That's okay. It's not that hard to get to, and should be fairly easy to get back into. Use one of my things that I don't care if it breaks off or not. There we go. Coming loose. Alright. Yeah, see there? Here's the plug-in. Tends to work a little bit better if you plug the plug in the right way. Now, I do like the fact that that's all the more there is to getting into the radio area, because this sucky radio's got to go. See, it doesn't even want to come on, and when it does, it comes on at 0. Plus it's all scratched up. Looks like somebody run their keys across it or something a time or two.
Okay, alright, and
that front speaker cuts out when you get over half volume. Now the only thing I do like about this is that it's got this aux cord hookup where you can play your own music or a single CD. And it even says single CD right here for the slow people, to where you don't try and jam more than one in there. But I mean, it's just the most basic radio, and it doesn't sound good.
Falling like snow in July. Sunset, riverside, four-wheel drives in a tail light.
I tried adjusting the front and back. Alright, I got the bass almost all the way off. Mid-range is all the way up. Treble's all the way up. And of course, balance, fade. And no, country's not my favorite, but I do listen. So, I'm not going to dog it out. I listen to a little bit of everything. Now that the plug is plugged back in like it's supposed to be, doggone it. Perfect. Yeah, I gotta get the trash and the mail out of here. But anyway, now that little green light that's on right there on the dash right now is for the driving lights. The lower headlights, I should say. The only thing is you can't put those on without the headlights, so. Now this is just the driving lights, the marker lights. Right here, the orange lights on the front, turn signals, that sort of thing. And that's the driving lights. That's what I'm saying, they're as bright as headlights are. So I can't even imagine what those other ones would be like if I wired them up. And I'm assuming you have to wire them up because they're projector and halo. So they've got to have their own connection. And see, there's when you kick the regular headlights on with the driving lights. And watch what it takes away when you shut the headlight or the driving lights off. It takes a whole dimension out of the lighting. And that's not the high beams, that is. See, high beam. There's the driving lights. That'd be blinding for a few people, I'm sure. Because I mean, you can't see it real well in here, but it's shining way up into my tree line out at the edge of my road. How do you take? Oh, there it goes. Okay. And that brought it down to ground level again. So, and yeah, see, it's been a while and windshield's still fogged up. Oh, wrong side. Switches are only on one side on this Harbor Freight light. There we go. I gotta put it back in the Cadillac and then let my German Shepherd out because he hasn't been out yet and it's after 6 o'clock. But there we have it anyway. I just thought I'd get you involved in my little repair here. Oh, something that's kind of interesting. Watch what happens when you put it in reverse and you got the door open and you try and back up. I thought the alarm was going off on me and I have no way to cancel out any alarm, but then the Dodge dealer told me there is no alarm, so I don't know. But yeah, it lets you know when your door's open and you're trying to back up. Anyway, that's all I got for now. I'll pick this up and add, I don't know if I'm going to add to it tomorrow or just do a whole new video tomorrow. I've been kind of slacking on my videos lately, so I may just do a whole separate video. That's a lot more editing and everything else, but it is what it is. I haven't been putting much up lately, and I'd kind of like to get back into it a little bit. But on that note, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.